The assassin came at midnight. I did not scream. I had learned years ago that screaming brought no help. Only attention. And attention from the wrong people was how you died. But I did not need to scream, because he was already there. The bodyguard I had hired 3 weeks ago. The quiet one. The one who never spoke unless spoken to. Who stood in shadows and moved like smoke. The assassin did not make it past my bedroom door. I heard the impact. Body hitting stone. A sharp crack. Then silence. My door opened. He stood in the threshold, backlit by torchlight from the corridor. Blood on his knuckles. None of it his. "You are safe," he said. His voice was steady, calm, as though he had just stepped on a spider, not killed a trained killer with his bare hands. I should have been terrified. Instead, I felt something else entirely. Safe. For the first time in 5 years, I felt safe. 3 weeks earlier. My name is Alara Thornwood. I am Omega, 24, heiress to the Thornwood merchant empire, and someone wants me dead. It started 5 years ago, after my father died. Poison, slow-acting, untraceable. The healers called it natural causes, heart failure. But I had found the vial in his study, hidden behind a loose stone, empty, but with residue that matched the symptoms. Someone had murdered my father, and inherited nothing, because he had left everything to me, his only child, his carefully trained successor. The Omega daughter no one expected to survive him. Since then there had been 7 attempts on my life. Poison in my wine, a loose stone on a staircase, a runaway cart in the market, all easily dismissed as accidents. Bad luck, Omega fragility. But I knew better, so I hired bodyguards. The first one disappeared after 2 weeks. No note, no explanation. The second was found dead in an alley, throat cut. The third took money from whoever was hunting me, turned on me in my own home. I killed him myself, with a letter opener through his eye. After that, I stopped hiring from the guilds, stopped trusting recommendations. Instead, I went to the fighting pits. The pits. The pits were illegal, brutal, operated in the underbelly of the capital where city guards did not patrol, where alphas fought for money, for pride, for survival. I went disguised, hooded, watching. I needed someone good, someone who could not be bought, someone with nothing to lose. I watched for 3 nights. Then I saw him. He was massive, tall, broad-shouldered, moving with a precision that did not match his size. He fought 5 opponents that night, won every match. But what caught my attention was not his skill. It was his restraint. He never killed, never maimed, just disabled, efficiently, then walked away. No showboating, no cruelty, just work. After his final match, I followed him, found him in an alley behind the pits, washing blood from his hands in a rain barrel. "I have a job," I said. He did not turn, did not react, not interested. "You have not heard the terms. Do not need to." He dried his hands on a rag, started to walk away. 1,000 gold marks, I said, per month. He stopped, turned slowly. In the dim light, I could see his face properly for the first time. Hard, scarred, eyes that were dark and assessing. "For what?" he asked. "Protection. Someone is trying to kill me. I need a bodyguard who cannot be bought." He studied me, taking in my fine clothes beneath the cloak, the way I held myself. "You are nobility, merchant class, but wealthy. Why me? Because you do not kill when you do not have to, because you are good, and because you look like you need the money." Something almost like amusement flickered across his face. "What is your name?" he asked. "Alara Thornwood." "The Thornwood heiress." He nodded slowly. "I have heard of you. Your father built an empire. You inherited it. And someone wants to take it," I said. "Will you help me or not?" He was quiet for a long moment. Then, 2 conditions. "Name them." "First, you do exactly as I say when it comes to your safety. No arguments. Agreed. Second, you do not ask about my past. I hesitated, then nodded. Agreed. He held out his hand. My name is Cale. I shook it. His grip was firm, calloused, and the moment our hands touched, something electric shot through me. I pulled back quickly. He noticed, but said nothing. The first week Cale was perfect. He arrived before dawn, left after I slept. He was always there, always watching, but never intrusive. He spoke little, moved quietly. When I went to the market, he walked 3 paces behind, eyes scanning, reading every face, every shadow. When I worked in my study, he stood outside the door. When I ate, he tasted my food first. It should have felt suffocating. Instead, it felt safe. On the 3rd day, I tested him. I am going to the docks, I said. No, he said. Excuse me? The docks are not secure. Too many people. Too many exits. If someone wants to attack, that is where they will do it. I need to inspect a shipment. Send someone else, I bristled. I am not some fragile Omega who needs— You hired me to keep you alive, he interrupted. Voice calm. I cannot do that if you insist on walking into obvious danger. We stared at each other. You agreed to follow my instructions, he said. Remember? I wanted to argue, wanted to remind him that I was the one paying him. But he was right. Fine, I said. I will send my steward. He nodded once. Later that day, my steward returned, shaken. There was a fire, he said, at the docks, right where your shipment was stored. My blood went cold. Anyone hurt? 2 dock workers, minor injuries, but if you had been there— He did not need to finish. I found Cale in the corridor outside my study. You knew, I said. I suspected. How? Because if I wanted to kill you, that is where I would do it. He said it so calmly, so matter-of-factly. Thank you, I said quietly. He inclined his head, and I realized with sudden clarity that Cale was not just good. He was exceptional. The 2nd week, I started noticing things. The way servants moved around Cale, deferential, almost nervous. The way guards at the city gates stepped aside when he passed. The way people in the market avoided his eyes. Not with fear exactly, with recognition. Who are you? I asked one evening. We were in my private study. He was checking the windows, making sure they were secure. Your bodyguard, he said. That is not what I mean. He turned, looked at me steadily. You agreed not to ask about my past. I know, but— Do you trust me? He interrupted. The question caught me off guard. Did I? He had saved my life twice already. Had been nothing but professional, competent. But trust was not something I gave easily. I am trying to, I said honestly. Something shifted in his expression, softened slightly. Then trust that I have my reasons for keeping certain things private. I wanted to push, to demand answers. But the way he was looking at me, open, honest, stopped me. All right, I said finally. He nodded, went back to checking the windows, and I went back to pretending I was not falling for my bodyguard. The 3rd week. It happened in the market. I was inspecting fabric samples. Kyle 3 paces behind as always. A man bumped into me, hard. I stumbled, felt something sharp press against my side. Do not move, the man whispered. Do not scream. Just walk. A blade, hidden beneath his cloak. My mind went blank. Then cold. Then calculating. Where was Kyle? The man started to pull me toward an alley. Then everything happened at once. Cale was there, moving faster than should have been possible for someone his size. His hand closed around the assassin's wrist. Twisted. The blade clattered to the cobblestones. The man tried to run. Cale caught him by the throat, slammed him against the nearest wall. Who sent you? Cale's voice was ice. The man spat at him. Cale's hand tightened. I will ask once more. Who sent you? Something in his voice, something cold and absolute, made my blood freeze. This was not the restrained fighter from the pits. This was someone else entirely. The assassin's eyes went wide with recognition. You, he choked out. You are. Kale's other hand moved, lightning fast, pressure point. The assassin went limp, unconscious. Kale lowered him to the ground, turned to me. Are you hurt? I shook my head, could not speak. He was at my side instantly, hands gentle on my arms, checking for injuries. Alara, look at me. I met his eyes. Did he cut you? No, just pressed the blade, threatened. Relief flooded his face, then something else, something darker. This ends, he said, tonight. We are finding out who is behind this. The interrogation we took. The assassin to my estate, to the cellars. Kale tied him to a chair, waited for him to wake. When the man's eyes opened, they went immediately to Kale. Fear, absolute fear. Please, the man stammered. I did not know. I swear I did not know she was under your protection. Who hired you? Kale's voice was quiet, deadly. I cannot. He will kill me. I will kill you, Kale said calmly. Right now, unless you talk. The man broke. Marcus Valen, her uncle, he wants the business. Says she has no right. That an Omega cannot. My uncle. My father's brother. The one who had stood beside me at my father's funeral. Who had offered condolences, support. Who had been planning my death since the day I inherited. I felt sick. Kale looked at me, something like sympathy in his eyes. Then he turned back to the assassin. You will go to Marcus Valen. You will tell him you succeeded. That Alara Thornwood is dead. The man blinked, confused. And then, Kale continued, you will lead him to the place you supposedly disposed of the body, where the King's Guard will be waiting. The King's Guard? Yes, Kale said. Do this and you live. Refuse and you die here. Understand? The man nodded frantically. I waited until Kale had secured the assassin in a locked room. Then I grabbed his arm. The King's Guard? You cannot just. They do not take orders from. I stopped. Kale was looking at me, steady, waiting. Who are you? I whispered. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, my full name is Kale Stormborn. I am the Alpha King of the Northern Territories. The world tilted. What? I abdicated 3 months ago, left the throne to my brother. I was tired, needed to disappear for a while. He stepped closer. I went to the pits, fought, tried to be someone else. Then you found me. You lied to me. No, I just did not tell you everything. That is the same thing. I know, he said quietly, and I am sorry. But if I had told you, would you have hired me? I wanted to say yes, but I could not. Because the truth was, I would have assumed it was a trap, a scheme. I would never have trusted him. Why? I asked. Why did you stay? Why protect me? He reached out, cupped my face. Because, from the first moment I saw you, I knew you were different. Strong, brave, refusing to be a victim even when the world tried to make you one. His thumb brushed my cheek. And because somewhere along the way, protecting you stopped being a job, it became the only thing that mattered. I should have pulled away, should have been angry. Instead, I leaned into his touch. I am falling in love with you, he whispered. I have been since the night you followed me into that alley and offered me the world. You are a king, former king, and right now I am just a man asking if you feel the same. Did I? Yes. I had been falling since the moment he stepped into my life. Yes, I breathed. God's help me. Yes. He kissed me then. Slow. Deep. Perfect. Epilogue. The trap worked perfectly. Marcus Valen was arrested, charged with conspiracy to murder. The King's Guard, who answered to Kale's brother but still respected Kale, ensured justice was swift. 6 months later, I stood in my study, going over ledgers. Kyle stood behind me, arms wrapped around my waist. You know, I said, You could have just told me you were the king from the beginning. Would you have believed me? Probably not. He pressed a kiss to my temple. Besides, he murmured, I liked being just Kale. Your bodyguard. Your protector. You still are, I said, even if you are also a king. Former king. Right. Former. I turned in his arms. Though I still do not understand why you left the throne. He smiled. That rare, crooked smile I had come to love. Because being king meant being alone. Always performing. Never truly known. He cupped my face. But with you, I am just Kale. And that is enough. I kissed him, and thought about the night I had walked into that alley, looking for a bodyguard, never knowing I would find a king. The end. She thought she hired an ordinary bodyguard, but the man protecting her was the Alpha King in hiding, and when he revealed the truth, it was not to claim power. It was to save her life. Sometimes the greatest protector is the one who has everything to lose. What moment got you? The first assassination attempt? The market attack? The revelation? The kiss? Drop a comment. If this story had you on the edge of your seat, like and subscribe for more tales of secret kings protecting Omega heiresses, betrayals uncovered, and love born from protection.